Hi, I'm Steve. Welcome to How and Steve English. In today's video lesson, we are studying Intermediate Book 1, Lesson 6. If you're not sure how to use these video lessons, let me remind you. You can watch these videos or listen to our audio for casual listening practice. If you're preparing for your English class using these lessons, then use this video to practice the lesson once, twice, or 3 times before class. While watching these videos, make sure you pause during question and answer periods to speak and write down your answers. If you have the lesson files, make sure you print it out so you can take notes and write down answers. If you're just watching the video, make sure you use a pencil and a paper or a computer to write down answers. Today's lesson is called Does Soda Cause Obesity? Before we begin, let's look at this picture. At this point, you should pause the video and write down everything you can see in this picture. Use just words, or better, use full sentences to describe the picture. Remember, you should also make an anecdote about what this picture reminds you of. So go ahead and pause the video and tell us now. I'll begin. I can see a delicious lunch set. I can see a glass of ice. And a woman with green nails is pouring CocaCola into the cup, into the glass. To the left side, I can see some type of bread with a tomato topping. Maybe this is bruschetta. In the center of the table, I can see a bread bowl. Bread bowls are pretty common at nicer restaurants, and it looks like there's some type of soda cracker and some other bread rolls there. In the background, I can see a glass container. Maybe that's another soft drink, or maybe that's some oil and next to it some vinegar to make some dip for the bread. And even farther behind, I can see a wooden tray with a cup for coffee, a holder for sugar and sweetener, and a glass of water. This reminds me of going out to eat in my university town, Columbia, Missouri. There are many restaurants designed for dating, and so there are many great restaurants with Italian food or Midwestern food and many different microbreweries, because at that time microbreweries had just begun to become popular. Here's our table topic section. This is a short, friendly, light conversation question to begin our lesson. At this point, pause the video again and write down your answer to this question. Are there more obese people nowadays than there were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago? Well, anecdotally, in my own experience, I think there are many more obese people nowadays than there were 20 years ago. When I was a kid, I really didn't see that many obese adults. But nowadays, I see many more obese adults. I think also the scientific research shows that there's a lot more obesity now than there was 20, 30, and 50 years ago. I think that maybe we hit a plateau. Maybe obesity has stopped increasing so rapidly. But still, our population, the people in our country, the people in our world are on average much heavier, much more obese than they were 20 or 30 or 50 years ago. Now, create one table topic of your own. You will use this table topic in your group class. If you're just studying using this video or using this audio on the podcast, please go ahead and go to the YouTube video page and write down your table topic question there, and how or I or our students will respond. Alright, here's our vocabulary section. In this section, you'll find some easy words and some difficult words. The goal is to use these words as often as you can during this book. So, during this entire book, you should try to use these words 20 times each. And remember, always have these vocabulary sheets with you so you can check off each word when you use them. Misleading. Misleading. Giving the wrong idea or impression. CocaCola misled customers when they claimed their drinks do not cause obesity. Misleading or to mislead is a very, very useful word in English. There are many different words for lying. So, a lie is usually thought as a direct statement that is the opposite of the truth. So, if someone says, I didn't cheat on my test, but they did, that's a lie. But if somebody says, I can't really remember if I cheated on the test, but maybe well, I guess that's a bad example. Let me give you a better one. If you ask somebody, did you copy Tom's answers? And they say, no, I didn't, because they copied a different friend's answers. That's a little bit misleading. The spirit of your question was, did you copy your answers from somebody else? But technically they're right. They didn't copy Tom's questions. They copied somebody else's. I think there are many better examples for misleading. But you can probably just remember, misleading is when something is not technically a lie, but the spirit of it is a lie. Right now I can think of one more. When you buy a concert ticket and it says the ticket price is $50, and when you go through the checkout process, when you are buying the ticket, you put in all your information and you spend 10 minutes filling out the forms, and at the very end you are charged $72 because there's a $5 fee for the local park and there's a $10 fee for the local police officers. That's very misleading because you're not just buying the ticket, you're buying the experience at the concert. So you think, well, this is going to be $50 to go to this concert. You're buying going to a concert. You're not buying literally just this paper stub, this paper ticket to enter the building. So all those other fees, all those other expenses are very misleading. They should say the price of the ticket is $75. Instead, they say it's $50. And then, in a very misleading way, they mislead you into paying more. Sedentary. Sedentary. Tending to spend much time seated, somewhat inactive. Office workers have very sedentary lives. Sedentary is a really great word. It just means that you're often seated, you're often sitting down, you're often laying down, and you're not very active. I like to think of a sloth, or so many zoo animals. If you go to the zoo, it's a little bit sad that they are so sedentary. They're often laying down, sleeping, resting, and it doesn't seem like they're very active. When people are sedentary, we gain weight. If we don't have enough activity in our lives, we often gain weight, and it's very unhealthy to be so sedentary. weight conscious or health conscious, weight conscious or health conscious, to be preoccupied or anxious about obesity. After my uncle suffered a heart attack, he became extremely weight conscious. Sometimes people are very, very weight conscious, but they're also overweight or obese. And they continue to be overweight or obese for much of their lives. People are often struggling with their own difficulties, with their own challenges, with their own obstacles. And weight loss is a very big challenge for people. And so many people have a lot of stress and they're very conscious of their weight. They're very weight conscious. And it seems like they can't help their weight. They continue to be overweight. Sometimes they'll eventually lose weight. And because they were so weight conscious, they're able to have a big win or a big success in their life by losing weight. Rigorous, extremely thorough, exhaustive, or accurate. Hal is on a very rigorous exercise program. He must work out 12 hours every week. Lately, I've really wanted to have a rigorous Korean language program. I really want to study Korean language 4, 5, 6 hours a day, but I don't have the time with all my work. My friend Mark has a rigorous exercise program. 4 days a week, he exercises and lifts weights for 2 hours. Monitor. Observe and check the progress of quality of something over a period of time. My doctor monitors my fat levels. So, if you are obese, you should pay attention to, you should monitor so many different signs and different levels in your body. You should monitor your sugar levels. You should monitor your weight. You should monitor your blood pressure. If you want to be healthy, you should monitor all those different things. Now here's our new idiom. Get the word out. Get the word out. To inform or let people or the public know about something. Sony Pictures is trying to get the word out about their new movie, Spider-Man 3. Get the word out is a really useful idiom because it means the same as notify. But notify seems so formal. So does inform. So get the word out is a nice, casual, friendlier way to talk about informing people. My students will have a Halloween party next month. So right now I'm getting the word out about their Halloween party. Hal and I are going to be giving a speech at a local university. So right now we're getting the word out about it. Here's our discussion question section. At this point, you should pause the video and write down your answers to these questions. Remember, you're practicing for your upcoming conversation class or language exchange. If you're only watching this video or listening to this podcast on your own and you don't have any upcoming classes or partners to exchange with, write your answers in the comment section of our YouTube video or at our website, howandsteveenglish.com. Let's begin. Do you think certain foods cause obesity? Yes, I do. I think in general, the changes in access to different types of food cause obesity. So, compared to 50 years ago, meat, especially beef and pork, are so much cheaper than they were in the past. Junk food is so much cheaper and so much more diverse and is so much easier to access than it was in the past. And healthy junk food, so diet foods and reduced calorie foods, are so much easier to access and are more prevalent. So I think they're all those different foods together change the way we eat, especially in America, where I'm from. We eat too much meat, we drink too many sugary drinks, and when we try to eat healthy, we don't often just reduce how much we eat or remove fatty meat or remove unhealthy junk food. We instead eat junk food that has fewer calories. So instead of removing soda, we drink diet soda. Instead of removing potato chips, we eat reduced fat potato chips. I think those different types of foods cause us to be more obese and cause obesity to be more prevalent, to be more common in our culture. Many people claim that reducing calories is the most important part of a healthy life. What do you think? I think I agree. I think in my experience, I was very obese and I lost weight even though I had a very sedentary life, even though I didn't exercise, by reducing the calories that I ate. I used to think that eating reduced calorie junk food or reduced calorie or diet food was the right way, but I think that's very misleading. If you don't want to gain weight, if you're weight conscious and you want to lose weight, you shouldn't continue eating the things that cause you to gain weight. You should just reduce your calories. There's a famous phrase, calories in, calories out. And so you need to eat fewer calories than what you use. The Koreans often drink Coca-Cola. Many of our students are Korean, so we ask, do Koreans often drink Coca-Cola? If you're from a different country, do people in your country often drink Coca-Cola? I'm American, and in the United States, we drink a lot of soft drinks, and we drink very, very large glasses with our soft drinks, very, very big portions. And weight-conscious people in America will often drink gigantic cups of Diet Coke, or Coke Zero, or Diet Pepsi, or Diet Dr. Pepper. And they think, oh, this is a diet drink, there are 0 calories. But yet, they continue to be obese. I don't think I can talk about it with authority. I don't think I'm very knowledgeable about the science, but I remember reading that diet soft drinks were connected to obesity. And in Korea, I think it's very interesting. They drink Coca-Cola very often when they eat certain meals. But when they need a refreshment, when they need something to drink, they almost always just drink water or tea. And in general, even for water, their portions, the size of their cups is very small. On average, how often do you drink soda? In America, I used to drink soda almost exclusively. Almost every time I drank something, I drank Diet Coke or Coke Zero. Now, I will drink soda a few times a week. And there are a few different reasons. One, I live in Korea, so it's difficult to buy cheap cans of soda. Usually they only sell the big bottles, and the individual cans are a little bit more expensive. Actually, a lot more expensive than they are in America. And it's just not very convenient. Also, in Korean culture, there are just a lot of different teas and a lot of different coffee shops, and it feels better to drink those than it does to drink soda. How often do you think Americans drink soda? I'm American, and when I lived in America, I drank soda for. Yeah, I drank soda almost every time I was thirsty, so I rarely drank water or another drink. So I think Americans probably drink soda several times a day. And because they're so sedentary and we don't really have rigorous exercise in our lives, we gain weight. What's one unhealthy food that you really enjoy? Hmm. Well, in America, there's so many unhealthy foods that I really enjoyed. But when I lived in the Midwest, there's a frozen custard. Frozen custard, a type of ice cream called a concrete. And it's milk flavored or vanilla flavor ice cream mixed with whatever you choose. So you can choose different types of candy and syrup and sauce to mix in with this ice cream. And it's very, very soft. So it's more similar to frozen yogurt than ice cream. I like that. And in Korea, where I live now, I really enjoy Korean fried chicken. I think Korean fried chicken is one of the best unhealthy foods in the world. There's so many different flavors, and it's really, really just an amazing food. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed our lesson. If you're preparing for your English class, good luck. I hope that goes well. If you are just studying here with us right now, please go to our YouTube channel and write your comments below. And then please just go to our YouTube channel and subscribe for more lessons, and share this with any of your friends who might need English lessons. Thanks. See you next time.